Dear students, today let us discuss some basic concepts about the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Chemical properties means chemical reactions of aldehydes and ketones with different types of reagents like water, HCN, alcohol, etc. Usually, aldehydes and ketones react differently with different types of reagents. So we have to think that why aldehydes and ketones behave differently in different chemical reactions. For that, first we have to know the structure of carbonyl group CO. The carbon atom of the carbonyl group is sp2 hybridized. So carbon is having the configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Here is the electronic configuration in the ground state 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. In the excited state, one electron goes from 2s orbital to 2p orbital. So we will get this configuration in the excited state. So for sp2 hybridization, 2p orbital and 1 s orbital hybridize together and we will get energetically similar sp2 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals, and this one is the unhybridized p orbital, and this is the electronic configuration of oxygen 1s2 2s2 2p4 1s2 2s2 2p4. 2 unpaired p orbitals are here. So the 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals forms 3 sigma bonds. 3 sigma bonds. One of them being to the oxygen atom of the group. It forms, this is the carbon atom. It is having sp2 hybridization. So 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals form 3 sigma bonds with the other atoms. In the case of ketones, this carbon atom will attach to 2 alkyl groups and 1 oxygen. In the case of aldehyde, this carbon is will attach to 1 alkyl group and 1 hydrogen. So this carbon, sp2 hybridized carbon of this that means 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals form 3 sigma bonds with the neighboring atoms, one with oxygen, the other two with the substituent groups R or aryl or hydrogen atom. Then this carbon is having one unhybridized p orbital. So its singly occupied unhybridized p orbital overlaps with a singly occupied p orbital of the oxygen atom to form a pi bond between them. So this singly occupied unhybridized p orbital overlaps with a singly occupied p orbital of the oxygen atom and so forming a pi bond. This is the sigma bond and again it forms a pi bond. This is the pi electron cloud. So as a result of this bonding, the 3 atoms attached to the carbonyl carbon are oriented in a trigonal planar fashion. That means 3 substituents or 3 atoms attached to the carbonyl carbon will be oriented in a trigonal planar fashion. So angle between the atoms will be 120 degree. Then there will be a pi electron cloud above and below that plane. So this is the structure of the carbonyl group. This is the orbital diagram of the carbonyl group. How the bonding occurs in carbonyl group. Now let us know more about the polar nature of carbonyl group CO. We know that oxygen is having high electronegativity compared to compared to carbon. Electronegativity means the tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. In this case, oxygen is having high electronegativity compared to carbon. So oxygen will have a partial negative charge, and carbon will have a partial positive charge. So there will be a charge separation, that is known as polarity. So the carbon oxygen double bond is polar due to the high electronegativity of oxygen. So there will be resonance between this CO carbon oxygen double bond and this, that means neutral structure carbonyl group and dipolar structure. Resonance involving a neutral structure A, this is a neutral carbonyl group, and a dipolar structure, this one is a dipolar structure, also enhances the above polarity of the carbon oxygen double bond. That means in order to establish this structure, we have to follow resonance. That means in resonance structures, we have two resonance structures. One is neutral structure A and another one is dipolar structure B. In dipolar structure B, we know that there is charge separation. So due to resonance, there exists one dipolar structure as one of the resonance structures. So this also enhances the above polarity of the carbon oxygen double bond. Then carbonyl compounds are in fact more polar than either, and this is reflected in their boiling points. That means there is charge separation in carbonyl compounds, so molecules will be highly associated due to this polarity, and so the boiling point will be very high in carbonyl compounds compared to either. And also boiling points which are higher than hydrocarbons and ethers of comparable molecular masses. Due to the electron shift of the carbonyl group, the carbonyl carbon acquires electrophilic character. That means due to the electron shift. This here you can see the due to the electron shift, this electron pair will shift to this oxygen atom. So we will get a structure like this. Due to the electron shift, the carbonyl carbon acquires a positive charge and the oxygen atom acquires a negative charge. So this carbon is always electrophilic in nature. Electrophilic means electron loving. If it is electron loving, electron is having negative charge, so this carbon should have a positive charge if it is electron loving. That means opposite charged particles are attracting, so electrophilic carbon is having a positive charge. So in most of the reactions of the carbonyl group, the reagent that attacks the carbonyl carbon is nucleophilic in nature. So the carbonyl carbon always attaches with a nucleophile. Nucleophile is having a negative charge. So negatively charged nucleophile attacks on the electrophilic carbon of the carbonyl carbon. So that's all about the polarity of carbonyl group. Now we are going to discuss about the nucleophilic addition reactions of aldehydes and nucleophilic addition reaction to aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes and ketones undergo nucleophilic addition reactions in which a nucleophile and a proton add across the carbon-oxygen double bond. So in nucleophilic addition means a negative nucleophile, this is the structure of nucleophile, Nu minus. It is having negative charge, and also nucleophilic means nucleus loving. So this is having negative charge, so it loves positive. The nucleus is having positive charge, so it likes positive charge. So in this carbonyl structure, carbonyl group, when a nucleophile attacks, this electron pair will shift to this oxygen, that is electromeric shift. So this oxygen will get a negative charge, partial negative charge, and this carbon becomes a partial positively charged carbon. So nucleophile attacks this partially positively charged carbon, that is electrophilic or electron deficient. So the general mechanism of nucleophilic addition involves it involves two steps, mainly two steps. In the first step, the nucleophile attacks the electron deficient sp2 carbon of the polar carbonyl group approximately in a direction perpendicular to the plane of the 3 sigma bonds attached to the carbonyl carbon. The process involves a change in the hybridization of the above carbon to sp3 and thereby yields a tetrahedral alkoxide intermediate. That means in the first step, as we already discussed, the nucleophile attacks the sp2 hybridized electron deficient electrophilic carbon in a plane perpendicular to this trigonal planar structure. Then the sp2 carbon becomes sp3. That means planar structure becomes a tetrahedral. So we will get an intermediate, that is tetrahedral alkoxide intermediate, due to the shifting of these electrons. Then the intermediate formed in step 1 captures a proton from the reaction medium to yield the addition product. So this intermediate tetrahedral intermediate attracts a proton and we will get a nucleophilic addition product. So this is the general mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction to aldehydes and ketones. This nucleophilic addition reaction involves two steps. One is the addition of nucleophile and the second step is the addition of proton. Let us know about the reactivity of aldehydes and ketones in nucleophilic addition reactions. See, here we can compare the reactivity of aldehydes and ketones in nucleophilic addition reactions. In general, ketones are less reactive than aldehydes in nucleophilic addition reactions due to two reasons. One is steric reason and another one is electronic reason. So towards nucleophilic addition reactions, ketones are less reactive compared to aldehydes due to two reasons. One is steric reason and other one is electronic reason. So let us see one by one. In ketones, there are two relatively large alkyl groups which are electron releasing in nature. So in aldehyde we have only one alkyl group, whereas in the case of ketone there are two alkyl groups which are electron releasing, and also the two alkyl groups are large ones. These two alkyl groups are very large, so this causes steric effect, and they are electron releasing, that causes electronic effect. So in the case of ketones, these two effects affect the nucleophilic addition reactions. On the other hand, in the case of aldehydes, there is only one such substituent. Here we can see there is only one alkyl group, so less steric effect and less electronic releasing effect. Further, as the transition state is tetrahedral with bond angles of 109 degree, 109.5 degree. So the alkyl groups are closer to one another in the transition state for a ketone than they are in the carbonyl compound, where the bond angles are 120. So when the nucleophile adds to the ketone, that is less electrophilic. This carbon is less electrophilic due to the two electron releasing alkyl group. So when we add a nucleophile, we will get a more crowded transition state, that is alkoxide transition state. So which takes, this transition state takes a proton and we will get a product that is also more crowded. So this is unstable, somewhat unstable. So not unstable means in the sense because of crowding effect. But in the case of aldehyde, this in the case of aldehyde we have only one alkyl group, and due to the addition of nucleophile to this electrophilic carbon, we will get a less crowded transition state. Then after the addition of a proton, we will get a product that is also less crowded. Here we have one hydrogen, not, this is wrong, this R is not, this R is not R, we have to replace it by H, it is by mistake. So the carbonyl group is more exposed towards nucleophilic attack in aldehydes than in ketones. That means this in the case of aldehyde, the carbon is highly electrophilic. That means there is only one alkyl group, so there is electron releasing effect of this alkyl group. But in the case of ketones, there are two alkyl groups, so electron releasing effect from two alkyl groups will occur in this case. So this carbon will be less electrophilic, means electrons are releasing here due to the two alkyl groups. So this carbon positive charge, the electrophilic carbon is having positive charge, so the carbon positive charge will decrease due to the electron releasing effect. So it will become less electrophilic. So the carbonyl group is more exposed towards nucleophilic attack in aldehydes than in ketones. Yes, the approach of a nucleophile to the carbonyl carbon is less sterically hindered in aldehydes than in ketones. So in the case of ketones, due to the large alkyl groups, two alkyl groups, the approach of nucleophile is most hindered than in the case of aldehyde. There is only one alkyl group, so nucleophile can attack very easily to the carbonyl carbon. Then greater steric crowding causes ketones to have less stable transition state than aldehydes, thereby making the products from aldehydes less hindered and more stable than the products from ketones. So that we already discussed, due to steric crowding, the product from ketones are less stable and product from aldehydes are more stable. Then due to the electron releasing plus I nature, plus I inductive effect is here. Plus I inductive effect means electron releasing inductive effect. Nature of each alkyl group. The electrophilicity of the carbonyl carbon is more decreased in ketones having two alkyl groups than in aldehydes having just one. This is the electronic effect that we already discussed. That means in the case of ketones we have two alkyl groups, so electron releasing effect is more, so the carbon becomes less electrophilic, so nucleophilic attack will be less in the case of ketone than in the case of aldehyde. So chance for easiness for the nucleophilic attack is high in the case of aldehyde than in the case of ketone. So nucleophilic attack is easier in aldehyde compared to ketones. So this is the relative reactivity order for the aldehyde and ketone. Formaldehyde is highly reactive in nucleophilic addition because there are no alkyl groups, large alkyl groups, so nucleophile can easily attack the carbonyl carbon. Then in the case of other aldehydes also nucleophile can attack very easily. Then in the case of ketone there are two alkyl groups, so nucleophile can attack the nucleophilic carbon with less easiness. So overall effect is nucleophilic addition is very easy in aldehyde compared to ketones. See, here we can compare the reactivity of different ketones. With increasing the size of the alkyl group in ketones, that affects the reactivity towards nucleophilic addition. Steric crowding also causes ketones with large alkyl groups bonded to the carbonyl carbon to be less reactive than those with small alkyl groups. So in this case there are two methyl groups, they are very small. So when compared to isopropyl methyl ketone, this is isopropyl group and this one is methyl group. So one alkyl group is very large, so this the reactivity of this ketone is very less compared to acetone. Then if there are two isopropyl groups, then the reactivity of that ketone will be very less compared to the other ketones. That means acetone, and compared to acetone and isopropyl methyl ketone, this is having very low reactivity towards nucleophilic addition reaction because of the less tendency for the attack of nucleophile towards the carbonyl carbon because of crowding. Here we have there are only two methyl groups, so the crowding is very less. Here crowding increases, in this case very high steric crowding is there, so nucleophile can attack with less easiness, so reactivity also decreases correspondingly. So far we discussed about the reactivity of aliphatic aldehydes and ketones towards nucleophilic addition reaction. Now let us know about the reactivity of aromatic aldehydes and ketones in nucleophilic addition. So aldehydes and ketones undergo nucleophilic addition reactions in which a nucleophile and a proton add across the carbon-oxygen double bond. So here we can see there are 5 different resonance structures for benzaldehyde. So due to minus R or minus M effect of the CHO group, minus R or minus M means resonance effect, electron attracting resonance effect of CHO group from the ring. Here electrons are attracted or taken by the CHO group. So the polarity of the carbonyl group is reduced. Here you can see the polarity is reduced in the carbonyl group, so which further affects the electrophilicity of the carbonyl group. So the electrophilicity of the carbonyl group is also reduced by this minus or minus M effect of the CHO group. Hence, benzaldehyde and other aromatic aldehydes are less reactive than aliphatic aldehydes in nucleophilic addition reaction. That means because of this minus R and minus R effect of the CHO group, the polarity of CO group is reduced, and which further affects the electrophilicity of the carbonyl carbon. Carbonyl carbon electrophilicity means electropositivity of the carbonyl carbon is decreased. So if the electropositivity is decreased, the nucleophilic addition will also be reduced. If the electrophilicity is very high, then only the nucleophile can attack very easily. So benzaldehyde and other aromatic aldehydes are less reactive than aliphatic aldehydes in nucleophilic addition reactions. Further, due to steric and electronic reasons mentioned before, aromatic ketones are even less reactive than aromatic aldehydes. So usually compared to aldehydes, ketones are very less reactive. So in the case of aromatic aldehydes, they are also highly reactive compared to ketones. In the case of ketones, we know that there is steric effect of alkyl or aryl group. So in the case of ketones, there will be steric effect of aryl group. So, and also electronic reasons, the aromatic ketones are very less reactive than aromatic aldehydes. So this is about the reactivity of aromatic aldehydes and ketones in nucleophilic addition reaction. Thank you.